How's it going? I did just want to thank people who have made donations over the last few weeks. Even donation sounds like the wrong word, but I've a link below these videos and podcasts, which is buymeacoffee/Spawn Evolution. And you can buy one coffee, you can buy 1,000 coffees if you want. But I'm grateful to the people who have made donations in the last few weeks. And I'm grateful to people who've listened to these podcasts or read my articles. I put a lot of time and effort into what I do for myself, for my own exploration, but also to share it with other people. Now, obviously, I'm trying also to make a living from this. I don't have another job, but I spend a lot of time, either I record a lot and I write a lot, that I don't always put stuff online. Sometimes when I come back to it, it feels out of date already. I can just have too much content to be putting up all the time. It's easier for me to write or to record than it is all the administration of building a newsletter, editing the video, trying to upload it to loads of different platforms. So I tend to just write and record, and most of it doesn't get to the world at all. My aim for this account, as we're at the end of 2020, the aim really is to try to grow this account in 2021. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is for me to try to raise my quality of life, to try to make a better living. I'm only 2 months out of living in the car in Ireland. I spent 4 years in that, and that was brutal. And I do intend to talk at length about that when the time is right. I still feel I'm going through withdrawals, if you like, from that whole experience. It's still settling. I'm having dreams and I'm spending time to contemplate, and it's still a bit of a shock. When I was in the car and living in Ireland, it was survival mode. My aim really was for earlier days, was to stay alive. And then it became a matter of conquering that and owning that experience so that I wasn't at the mercy of that experience and the mercy of the car. But I'm still moving on from that experience, and it certainly is still a novelty to have a shower, to have a bed, and to have the time to be able to do my own work, to have a base that I can sit and write. The last few months, obviously, in Ireland, libraries were closed. You couldn't sit in cafes because of lockdowns, that kind of thing. So it was very awkward or difficult to write anything or to record, sitting in a car with a laptop, not having electricity at times. So this, I'm still getting used to this. I have a roof over my head. I can sit out at a table. I can work, which is, in a sense, beyond my wildest dreams. It's what I dreamt about for years. So I'm grateful to the small community, or the small group of people who do listen to my videos or read my articles, and maybe and it seems to be a loyal group that seem to listen and follow consistently. So I am very aware of that, and I am appreciative of the shares and the few comments that I do get, and the donations that I've got recently. For the coming months, now that I have a base, that I have a desk, that I have electricity, I know that we take these things for granted. So for me, living in the car, having electricity was always an issue of, if I turn on my laptop and if I start to write, how much time do I have? Will it run out this evening? When can I get to a cafe or get to a place to plug it in again? So I had to time all of these things. So now, I can write whenever I want. I can sit down whenever I want, which is, as I say, I'm still adapting to that. But the aim is to release an ebook about shadow work, a short ebook of what I do and how I work, but also to release online a number of videos talking people through how I do this work in detail. Because I understand not everyone wants to, or can commit to, or can afford the 8-week course, which is €1,000, which for some people is a lot of money. For me, I had to keep up in that price because the amount of time that I can put in with clients, I'm in touch with clients almost every day for 8 weeks, and €1,000 is still very cheap. And obviously I'm not working with 10 or 20 people at a time. There's not huge amounts of money flowing in. So yeah, the aim is to make this work more accessible to people. And hopefully now in the coming weeks and months I can do that, so you can have a tiered system that if you want to work with me personally, you can pay more money and you will be in full contact with me. And if you just want to read a book or you just want to dip into videos, well, they'll be there as well, and they will be more accessible, a lot cheaper. The aim is to try to build this account, and it's also to try and give the world out there more options. The reason I set up Spontaneous Evolution was that I found that my perspectives I couldn't really find online. There's loads of spiritual websites and teachers and gurus and all the rest of it, and originally I set it up because I was interested in anarchy and economics, which I still am, but it veered toward being a very personal journey, which is my own self-discovery and sharing that with other people. But I still don't find many people who have my views. I mean, even around shadow work, I regularly, even this morning, I come around across people who talk about shadow work, who don't, they've a very, what I would deem a very closed view. I read a thread of someone this morning who did his shadow work 20 years ago and he has completed it. And that's not my experience at all. Shadow is ongoing. The ego is ongoing. My indulgence or arrogance or anger or judgment of others or attachment to others, attachment to relationships or money or success or followers or whatever I want to be, my ego wants me to be. That's my shadow, and that continually I continually seek to ground myself and to be present enough to be able to observe this and to move beyond that place of indulgence or of anger or of judgment or whatever it may be. Shadow work, I feel, is a life's work. It's continual. It's like gratitude. Continually try to be grateful for what I have now, for the life I have now, for how I feel. But also to continually be aware of my triggers and the things I indulge in, and to look at the emotions underneath them, continue working through them. So my own, to be personal, my own personal aim for money coming in, for be it donations or money from clients, obviously is now now that I have rent, is to be able to continue to pay for a roof over my head, to have space to work, which is incredible for me. But also to try to buy, I'm trying to buy a cheap motorbike here. Motorbikes and that kind of thing is very cheap. In Mexico, you're talking, well, you can buy a brand new motorbike here for under €1,000. So for a few hundred, I can get a motorbike. But to try and figure out the insurance situation, because I'm not a citizen. But there are reasons for this as well. I live about 20 minutes at the moment, but I'll be moving. I live about 20 minutes outside of the town, so everything revolves around a lot of walks or a lot of taxis, which is a waste of money. But also to give an insight that there are threads that come up in this work, and some of you will recognize this. Threads of communicating or working with different energies or entities, such as slugs, spiders, and of late diamonds as well. So some of these, from a shamanic, I suppose, perspective, some of these symbols or beings can appear again, like dragons or snakes, again and again for a while and then disappear. And generally the people I connect with might be working with these or have these experiences as well. So there's a couple of locations a few miles from where I'm staying, which is called the Diamond Tip or the Diamond Coast in Acapulco, and I haven't visited there yet. So my aim is, with transport, is to be able to explore these. There's energy in these locations. I talked 2 or 3 years ago of working on the land in Ireland or working on the land in the UK, sacred sites or energy centres. So that's part of the reason as well, which in time I'll talk more about as well, of why I'm in Acapulco, that there's energy here. There's places to connect with, portals, whatever you want to call it. So part of that aim is to be able to go to these places, to be able to move around the land, to have transport, to connect and work with whatever it is. But also, after 4 years in a car, I haven't been to a dentist in I think it's 4 or 5 or 6 years. I'm not sure. My teeth are in bits. I'm catching up. You know, my health, in coming out of that hero's journey, out of that shadow, out of that darkness, out of so much time in the underworld. It's a time of rebuilding. Learn to look after myself again, to cook for myself, to sleep in a bed. I know that might sound strange, but whenever I would leave the car and stay, say, in my parents' house or stay in a bed somewhere, I just wouldn't sleep. My body would not be used to being in a bed. So I feel I'm still adapting to this. I mean, when I first arrived in Mexico, I realized that I was washing my hair once a week. My hair would be greasy. Now I'd have a shower every day. And it was after a couple of weeks I realized, why am I only washing my hair once a week? And it was because that was the routine or the habit of living in a car. Now, during lockdowns, that didn't happen, even because I couldn't get to showers. So there's these behaviors that I have learnt from 4 years in the car that I'm only beginning to see now and to unlearn. And then gradually to learn how to take care of myself or nurture myself again in ways that were just not possible during those 4 years. The other thing as well is that I am aiming for more on-camera work. I need to buy some sort of tripod or phone holder or something. I don't know. This is something I couldn't really do, or I didn't really want to do in the car, that I was, I didn't have the space. There was people walking past. I know I did some on-camera stuff during the first lockdown down in around March or April, maybe on Instagram. I was doing a few of those, but it's been a while since I've done them. So the aim is to do on-camera videos as well, and just to connect with people a bit more. It's just now that I have space, now that I can actually put a camera on a table, that I can sit in a chair, that I can turn a light on, very simple things that I just was not able to do before. That's it. I just wanted to give that update. I'm grateful for donations. So you have an idea of where I intend to go with this. I still do put in a lot of time in this work for myself and then to share it with other people. So going forward, anything you feel you can do to help connect me with a wider audience, to share articles or videos or with friends, whatever it may be, I appreciate. I'm grateful for. Any donations for coffee or whatever is definitely appreciated. And we'll keep going, and feel free to make contact or ask questions. See what happens. So thanks for listening and for reading. Roll on 2021. Thank you.